Do you have beautiful scenic paper that you just want to use, but you don't want to cover up that beautiful design? Well, today I'm going to show you how to make a wonderful panel card so you can show off that beautiful scenery. Hi, I'm Angela Palmer. I'm from Stamp with Angela. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Auckland, New Zealand. And I'm going to be using the Scenic Coast Designer Series paper today and recreate a card that I made at Coffee and Cards and show you how you can use this beautiful paper and show off the scenery and make a great card. I like to show people how to make cards with confidence. So thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you enjoy the ideas and cards that I have to share with you. All right, so I'm just checking with sound and things to make sure that we are all okay. Looks like it, so that's good to see. And if you are watching, please let me know where you're from, where you're watching from. I appreciate you being here. And if you're watching the recording as well, then leave me a comment, and I'd like to know that you're here too. All right, so I'm going to show you the beautiful Scenic Coast Designer Series paper, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with it. It's great to see some of you joining us here. Joanne, great, thank you for being here. Just checking that sound and everything is okay today. So let's take a look at this stunning paper. All right, here we go. So this is the Scenic Coast paper, and this is one of the few sets in the catalogue that are actually 6 by 6, and obviously because it is a scene, that's why it works best as a smaller paper, and it's beautiful. So we've got slightly different shadings with this sort of sunset and image and that kind of thing. Some are slightly more purples. Actually, I've got 2 of the same there. There should be 6 different. So where's the other one that is different? Which one am I missing? Or maybe it's that one. That's what I need. Some a bit more pinks, orange, and a bit of a strawberry slush there, but lots of different colors and lots of different designs. And I don't know if you can tell, but when you look at it in person, can you see that kind of shimmer? So it's got that shimmer to it as well. Now there's 6 different designs. You get, I think, 8 in a pack. The other side is more of a just sort of one sort of color, so you could use that as well. But personally, I love using this side. So I'm going to show you what we're going to make today, and then some tips on how I did it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a little panel card like this, and we're going to add like some birds to it, or you could add some boats to it. See some of the boats there, and basically you'll get 2 cards from 1 sheet, which is quite efficient. These are note cards, because Coffee and Cards, I do note cards. Here's another one here as well. So you can see the different ways of doing it. So you'll need to find, in the Sunset Coast, there are boats. So if you've got the lower part of the paper and the water, it's quite easy to stamp in some boats. If you have got more the sky, then birds work quite well. If you've got the lakeside retreat paper pumpkin kit from earlier this year, that's got some birds in it, or you may have another stamp set that has got some birds in it. I've pulled out some birds from the Sailing Home one, which I'm using as well. So just find something that works. All right, now the idea was inspired by my team leader Jackie. So we had an event down in Christchurch a couple of weeks ago, and she kindly brought for her team members, when we had a bit of time to just do some crafting, a card that we could put together. It was all die cut, ready to go, and this is what she created. So you can see the panels are very similar, but she included the die cuts on it as well, and obviously it's a bigger card to what I did, so I had to adjust it to make it work for the note cards. But it looks quite efficient with the, well, not efficient, it looks very stunning with the dies in it as well. But I don't do dies and things with Coffee and Cards, so I was thinking, how can I do it but use stamps. So this is the inspiration that I got from Jackie. So thank you, Jackie. And this is what I came up with, coffee and cards. And it's just showing that paper. All right, so what I'm going to do, the first decision is deciding what paper you're going to use. So I'm going to use this one. Now, you'll see when I made the card for coffee and cards, we had a black border that worked quite well. I felt this paper, which one is it? This one here is quite dark, so I didn't want black. So I went for bringing in the balmy blue, just to have a bit more of a contrast. Then I've made another one today, and I went for Secret Sea, which is one of my favorite colors. So that's what I've used to border this one. So you could even use pink or whatever, but I wanted to kind of have one color for everyone, or maybe just swap out the balmy blue. So that's what I went with. And at the end, I'm going to show you lots of other ways of using this particular set as well. All right, so I'm going to put these to the side. So some tips on cutting it up. Now, I need a trimmer. You do need a trimmer for this. And I played around with different measurements on scrap paper first, not the good set. And I ended up deciding to go with 3/4 of an inch. Now, usually I am a centimeters person, but for this one, 3/4 of an inch is nearly 2 centimeters, but 2 centimeters felt a fraction too wide just to make it fit. So in the end, I went with 3/4 of an inch. So I've got my little template here, so I can this is the width that it needs to be, which is 3 3/4 of an inch. And because it's 6 inches, we're cutting it in half. So there'll be 3 inch and 3 inches. So I wanted to sort of work out where I want my image. So this is kind of the width. So if I've got a sentiment over here, maybe I want to see the sun, or maybe I want it this side and I'll have the sentiment on the other side. You need to kind of work out where you want. If you cut, yeah. So you'll see some of mine have got a sentiment on that side. Some of them have got a sentiment on the other side. I think I might actually go for the sun being on the right, and we'll have a sentiment over there. So I'm just going to cut it at 3/4. Sorry, so it's 3 3/4, and then I'm going to cut it in half at 3. Now, make sure it's up the right way. Now, because I was prepping this in advance and I needed to cut them, I wanted them to not spend 10 minutes trying to figure out which way they went. So I put the numbers on the back. So I'm going to flip it over. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when we start numbering, 5 is going to be here, and we're going to go backwards. And I'll tell you how I know, because the first one I did wrong. So I've actually on here scored and written the numbers, so I know roughly the placings. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this one here, that's the way the paper goes. Flip it around. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you don't have to write the numbers on the back, but in case you mix it up, it's actually quite helpful. So there we go. Now, you could stamp birds and things now and sort of imagine where the lines are. Obviously, for coffee and cards, I had to cut them beforehand because I didn't have time to do it in the class. So what I'll do is I'll do one where I've pre-cut, and then one where I will stamp it first. So let's cut this one out. So I'm going to cut them into 3/4 of an inch pieces and try and keep them in order. 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one. All right, so let's put those up here. So this is going to have more birds on it because it's more sky, although we could have a boat kind of on the horizon as well. With this one, let's stamp first. Now, with this one here, I think with the birds, I'm okay because it's not shimmery, but down here it is shimmery. So if I was to do boats, I would probably have to use something like Stays On, which is more permanent. Or there is the new hybrid ink pad, but it takes a while to dry. So for the sake of this, I'm going to do Stays On here. This one I'm probably okay to do Memento because I think I've got black on my hand. I'll do Memento first, and then I will actually put a boat on here. Oops, he's going downhill a little bit. Maybe we'll do two. If it doesn't stamp so well, Oh yeah, that's not too bad. And now some birds. So I'm going to kind of push them together. And can you see what I'm doing? Yep. And then sort of have it staggering two thingies. Oh, look at that. That's good. Let's do our next lot of birds a little bit lower down. That's great. I'm very happy with that. Now with this one, I'm going to do it ahead of time before cutting. So I'm just going to clean those and the boats, but I will use stays on because this is definitely shinier. And sometimes even with this stays on, you need to stamp it twice because it will do one up here. It doesn't quite. Oh, that's pretty good actually. Doesn't quite come out sometimes. I'm going to do one in the sort of shimmery bit. We'll see what happens. Now the only thing is I don't know where my markings are, and it's going to be between two thingies. I'm just guessing, or hopefully around here, and I'm not cutting my boat off. That's the only problem. See how it didn't actually work too well? So you have to just have another go. There we go. I'm a little bit worried of my positioning, so that is the advantage of cutting first. Now I will clean it. These have kind of stained a bit with Stays On, but Stays On is a permanent ink, so you do need Stays On cleaner to get it off. And with photopolymer, don't leave it on for too long. And I'll just wipe those on my mat as well. All right, now be careful. They are little stamps. You don't want to lose them. Okay, I'm going to put that aside. We'll come back to that one later, and we'll do this one first. So save this. You can use this for another card or something. All right, so the next thing I did was trimmed the bottom. Oh, and I forgot about that when I put my boat quite low. Didn't think about that. So I'm going to make my little banner thing not too high because I don't want to cut into my boat. I've put two together, cut in the middle, then cut from one side to the other. There we go. So it's going to be quite a narrow one. I think doing all 5 would be just a little bit too thick. So I'm just going to do 2 and then 3 like so. Okay, you can still look at all the little bits you get. Now this is when you might have mixed them up and got the order wrong. So we can check our numbers. 3, 5. Yes, see, I did mix them up. All right, check that that looks good. There we go. I'm going to have my sentiment in there. Now I'm going to have a piece of white. This isn't centimeters. It's 8 by 11.8 centers by 11.8, I believe. So we just want to work out roughly our positioning to try and get even spacing. So when I adhere it, I tend to do the 2 outside and the middle one, and then work fairly quickly to put the other 2 on, and I can adjust it. So I'm just placing it to kind of see how much space I need between each one. Ideally, we want even spacing, so I'm going to bring it in from the outside a little bit to start with. Okay, here we go. Doesn't that look so cool, that scene? Just with the boats and the birds, and that's all you needed to do. Okay, so I'm going to flip them over in order like this. This is probably the more technical part. Oh, my 2 got slightly whoops, cut off. So I'm going to have them all glued. Can you see? Sorry. Ready to go. Okay. Try and work fairly quickly. Let's do 1 and 5 first and try and keep it level at the top. 1 and 5. Don't want glue down there. I'll wipe it after. 1 and 5. Then we want 3. I'm going to roughly put it. I will adjust it. I think it needs to go that way a little bit. Put this one down. I will still have the pressure is on a few moments to, well, this is a bit bigger spacing. So we're going to move this over, this over. Oh, look at that. Then just try and straighten it up a bit. Is that pretty good? Yay, I'm pretty happy with that. Isn't that cool? All right. If you needed to, you could trim off the top. You'll see with one of mine, I varied the heights even more so on this one. So you could do that depending on how you want your picture to go. You might need to cut a bit of the bottoms off and adjust them. Right, so then I just like to frame it so it adds that boldness behind it, I guess. And then we're going to put it onto our note card. So if I made this a bigger card, you might need to just adjust. Although I think the width of that original card that I had is about the same anyway. There's just space top and bottom, and then there's stamping underneath. So you can, you know, play around with that. All right, note cards. Where are my note cards? Here. The good thing with the note cards is they come with envelopes. So that's all ready to go. So we're going to fold that in half and crease that like so. Whoops, it looks like it's got slightly more gap at the top, bottom than the top. I can move it down slightly. There we are. We'll put that on, and then we're just going to stamp our sentiment. And I'm going to make the one with the bottom as well. But to be honest, I think I preferred to cut it and then stamp, because then I know that my images are going to kind of fit in the right places. So we're going to find just a narrow piece of card that looks a little bit too wide. I've got that, it's too wide too, so I'm just going to trim it a bit narrower and stamp our sentiment. At the moment I'm making a lot of thank you cards, so we'll make a thank you, and I'm going to put it on this side. So I want to keep it straight on the left, and then I'll angle it on the right. Just use my mat. It's probably fine, but I'll stamp on my mat. Pretty good. Might just have another go. The T is a little bit, whoops, upside down. I don't know. Stick it on the T. Oh, no, I prefer the first one. Let's go back to the first one. Okay, so put it like so. And there you go. And then we'll finish off our other one. What do you call them? Dimensionals. Here they are. Up the top, down the... I'd probably usually put it there, but we don't want to hide our boat. So 1, 2. Okay, so as close to that boat as we can. There we go. Thank you. So whatever sentiment you like. Now you can leave it like that, or as part of the suite we've got these sunset sparkles, which have got blues and pinks and oranges and that kind of thing. So there's already quite a lot happening on there. I might leave it, but one of the cards I did, you will see I did add some orange to it. So it's totally up to you, but that's quite nice as well. All right, let's go back to our other half. So at Coffee and Cards, they just got to make one card, but we'll finish off the bottom one. So I will cut again and see how we're going with our measurements, and hopefully we don't cut a boat. Oh, first one is good, excellent. But you could have other sort of scenic paper that you've got that would work with this too. All right, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we need to cut off those bottom bits. We'll maybe make it a little bit higher this time because we've got a bit more room. So line it up at the bottom. Remember, you cut up the middle first, and then from one side to the middle to the other side. And then we'll do our other 3. The other thing you can remember with the numbers is that helps you know which way up. Now I'll show you what happens if you glue it on the wrong way. And it was with this exact paper, I think. Might have been slightly different positioning. But I wrote the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then stuck them down. But I was actually doing it backwards, and that's how it looked. So it should have gone the other way. So let's have a look. But yeah, they weren't in order. So you can see that kind of picture works. Yeah, it's very similar. But some of the things, they don't match up because I've done it. I probably turned it around as well. So anyway, so put the numbers on, you know which way it goes, then you're safe. Okay, let's try again. And we'll move all these out the way. So have you got some of this lovely paper or any other Scenic paper that you want to give this a go as well? This has been very popular and it has been out of stock twice, I think. It's currently in stock, what was when I checked this morning. So grab it while you can. The current catalogue will be coming to an end at the end of August. We've got a new catalogue coming in September. Some may carry over, some may not, but if you've got things that you like, grab them now before they're gone for good. And there's so many things in this May catalogue that I have loved. It's like, oh wow, this paper, this stamp set that goes with it, there's so many things. It's like, make the most of it while it's here. And then we'll obviously have some exciting new Christmas things coming too. And some other seasonal things. All right, so I'm working quickly and then we can adjust, try and make it nice and even and fairly level at the top. Just, whoops, straighten them up a little bit. We need to straighten that over a bit. You've only got so long and then it's stuck for good. Not too bad. There we go. And then we'll put our sentiment down here. So 2 cards from that one paper, and I've got some leftover bits that you could somehow use as well. So this one is put onto Secret C. I might just need to trim that one off a bit because he is at the top a little bit. And just remember, because the paper is shimmery, you will need to be careful if you are stamping on it what you stamp with. Something like Stays On or the hybrid one, but let it dry. There you go, another card base. And then I can show you all sorts of other exciting things with this set. So Jo says she's got the paper but hasn't played with it yet. Well, I'm going to give you a few different ideas, so hopefully that will inspire you. Great for sort of more masculine cards, something that's a change from flowers, which is nice. I love flowers, and I did flowers the other week, but this is quite nice and sort of calming as well. Obviously, that pattern is a little bit darker, but all good. All right. I might just, for the sake of time, borrow this one that I've already done, and we'll put that there like so. Feel like it actually needs to go over a little bit more, so let's just stamp it again. All right. Oops, there's something underneath, just so it, yeah, I wanted it to hang over that one a bit more. It doesn't feel a bit more balanced if I did that. Take your pick tool. Much easier than using my nails. How about this one? We do add a bit of sparkle so you can kind of see the difference. So I'm going to go for the orange. Well, there's 2 kind of oranges. Let's go for the brighter one. I'm not quite sure where to. We'll put a big and a small over here. Oops, he's moved. Where is it? And then one near the thank you as well. And these are adhesive on the back, which makes it easier. Oops. And we'll do one down here. All right, there we go. I think for... All right, let's have a look at all those cards. So a couple of tricks when you're putting it together is numbering it. And if you're numbering on the back, you are going backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because when you flip it around, the order will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that way, if you mix up the order and thing, you can see on the back. And also, which is top and bottom, because sometimes when you see the paper, you're like, is it this way or is it that way? So that helps. And then sticking it down to the outside, the middle, and then do the ones in between. So now I've got lots of different cards using that set. Which is your favorite? Do you like ones that have got boats in it, birds, or one? Oh, probably this is my favorite because it's got the birds and the boats, which is quite cool. Yeah, so there you go. Some ideas and making a panel card. And you could use it with other, scenic sort of ones as well. So a reminder, this was my inspiration. So by Jackie Willems, my team leader, using the die cuts. And I've got a couple of cards that I've made using those die cuts. So I'll show you the set actually, sorry. So that's the stamp set. So it's got both images and some stamps. And I'll show a couple. I've done a coffee and cards with these stamps before as well. And then these are the dies. So that's where you die birds and these images and other things. So let me show you some cards I have made with those. Put these to the side. So using the paper, a month or two ago, I did this, what's it called? Is it double eclipse card? Where you've got some, I don't know if you can tell, some that are lifted up and some that are lower down, and it gives you that kind of dimension to it. So again, I've stamped birds and boats and things. This one I didn't, I just kept the sentiment and it laid it up. They're a bit narrower. You got to play with the size of the strips to make it work well, and I wanted them both to end on a down. So it goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That just worked for me. I didn't want to end up different. So that was fun. Another one using the paper that I taught at a class, and it was designed by Sylvia Patterson. She did it for a team training, and then I was able to make it for a class. So it's a cool fold like this. But we got a bonus there. And then you've got, so she's using the whole sheet because you're using part of it on the front and then a little bit inside as well. And then this little flap comes in and tucks in under the trees. So that's a combination of the Scenic Coast and then also the waterside retreat, I think it is, the grass and the chair and all that kind of thing from that. So it's a combination. So there you've got all the different ones using the papers. If you're just using the stamp set, this is what I did at Coffee and Cards before, and I think I might have done as a live. Can't remember. We did, stamping some of the images. That's a different bird stamp set that I had. And then using the dies, these ones here with these two dies, I created this one here. So using the paper in the background, and I felt it needed something, so I used that sort of meshy thing. Die as well. And then this one here I have used, it's an older embossing folder. It's got a swirl pattern on it, and that's with the lighthouse. And then I've added some embellishments to it, but you can see the paper in the background. Now I've done it flat. You could sort of lift it up too, which would be quite nice. So lots of possibilities with this set. So Joe, I know you said you hadn't used the paper yet. Not sure if you've got the stamps and dies and things, but hopefully I've given you some ideas to inspire you with the paper. Maybe you've got some birds or boats or whatever that you can use. But there you go. It's a very, very, very cool set. So I hope you have fun with it. And I hope you like today's cards where we have made this little panel strips kind of thing. There we go. All right, lots of fun. Cool. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. She said they're awesome. Yeah, we definitely had lots of fun with this set and even more possibilities, so that's cool. All right, couple of things to go over with what's happening. So there is a sale at the moment. Oh, and I should have checked. Was that paper in the sale? I cannot remember. I'm sorry. Some paper is in the sale. Yeah, I'll have to check that one. I didn't think to. So it's until the end of the month, but obviously while stocks last, and if things go out of stock, well then, it may not be back in time before the end of the month. So cardstock and designer series paper, not all cardstock is on special. Certain colors are. So I've stocked up on some colors. So check that out. And if you spend $150, you can get the product of the month, which this month is some paper, The Glow of Harvest. So it's 12 sheets of 12 by 12. It is, they are single-sided, so they're not double-sided, which is a bit different. But they've got a pearlized finish on them, which is cool. Now, obviously, you'll see one here with pumpkins in it. So you might be thinking, we're not American. We don't have Thanksgiving and pumpkins. But there are lots of other designs. So I'm sure you can, beautiful designs, if you want to get that while stocks last. And I'm not sure if last month's begonia bell might still be available too. If you didn't get it, you can. But still in stock, you can order it. All right. And one last thing is, if you've ever wondered about joining up yourself as a demonstrator, you sign up, and rather than order your kit, then you sign up, become a demonstrator. They're going to send you a welcome box with some goodies in it. I'm not going to tell you what it is, so it's a nice surprise. And then you can place an order. They give you a coupon code, and you can place your order when you're ready, and you can even spend more than that and just pay the difference, and it goes towards your minimums. And there's obviously lots of perks of being a demonstrator. You get a discount on your products. You get to see stuff early, like we've got the catalogue coming out in September. We can see it now. We can pre-order, which I'm doing, to prep stuff ready for September. There's events like what I went to in Christchurch. There's our team. We have team Zoom meetings. We have a Facebook page. We have card swaps. There's so many cool things that you can do as a demonstrator. And yeah, so if you're wanting to know more about joining up, let me know and I can fill you in. So remember, welcome box if you sign up, the product of the month, and our designer series paper sale and cardstock sale as well. And that includes both some two-toned and some A4 cardstock. So check out what colors you need and see if they're on sale. Well, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed these cards. Now, some of the ladies that watch, come to Coffee and Cards, and so they may have made cards like this, and they even changed it up a bit. A couple of people, depending on the design, one person did it this way, but it depends on how it works for your design. And yeah, this is just a basic idea, but you can vary it up as well. Now, if you're in a community and you don't have Coffee and Cards and you'd like to do something like this yourself, reach out to me and I could, share some ideas and things. Now, obviously, I come up with the ideas and I prepare kits. If you just want to get together with Coffee and Cards and make cards and not have to prep, then you can buy a kit and then you each make a couple of the cards from the kits. So you can still have the experience of Coffee and Cards without having to prepare all the kits and things as well. So reach out to me if you would like to know more about that kind of thing. All right, so I've kind of been looking at the comments and things, but not hugely. So yeah, if you have any questions, reach out to me. If you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, I encourage you to subscribe and also subscribe to YouTube. You'll get notified of when I'm going live and things. And in a couple of weeks' time in September, we will have the new catalogue. So I will do an evening special launch thing in a few weeks' time as well. All right. So thank you. Please reach out to me. Remember, if you are keen on that Scenic Coast, yes, designer series paper, I would order it sooner rather than later because it may go out of stock. If you're local to me, let me know. We might be able to do a group order to save on shipping. Otherwise, you can add it to your order when you're ordering. All right. So if I can help anyway, please let me know. Otherwise, thanks for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Enjoy your afternoon. Bye.